What is up, guys? Tyson Dela Cruz here. We got some stuff to cover today. Global turmoil and fear on Wall Street. Will the Fed cut rates to help out U.S. workers and investors? The other thing, Warren Buffett sells off all of his stocks in regards of Apple. And we're going to dive into some more Kamala Harris stuff. But first, guys, let's read this article from Forbes. Forbes just released this article. Will they cut rates? So will they cut rates? Recent stock markets declines, particularly on Friday, was a super sharp drop. Massive news coming out of the intro webs. And shout out to everybody watching, by the way. Shout out to everybody watching. Thank you. Drop your comments. If you're watching this on the live stream, drop your comments. Let me know where you're coming from or coming out of. Obviously, you came out of your mom, but coming from. The disappointing July job reports was significantly worse than what we thought by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, which show weaker than expected job growth, 114,000 jobs added, and an unexpected rise in unemployment at 4.3%. This economy, this economic data has led to increased speculation around the Federal Reserve's next moves, particularly regarding interest rates cuts. The market reacted to unemployment situation was significant, with the Dow Industrial Average falling nearly 1,000 points. This is the first time that it's fallen in 1,000 points in a very long time. I want to share this with you guys here. So it's the first time that it's fallen in such a long time. Before closing down at 611 points or 1.5%, NASDAQ Composite entered correction territory, dropping more than 10% of its recent high nearly in July. What's the change over the weekend? Over the weekend, global stock market has experienced a downturn due to the combination of factors having heightened investor anxiety. One major contributor is the unwinding of Japanese yen carrying trade. This financial strategy, where investors borrow yen at low interest rates to invest in higher yield assets, have been disrupted by recent market volatility, leading to the sell-off of global equities. This couples with this video here. We're going to jump into this video from MSNBC while this is loading up. The Warren Buffett also sells off nearly half of his Berkshire Hathaway and stakes in Apple. This is insane. Warren Buffett has slashed Berkshire Hathaway's holdings in half, according to CNBC, reported to, let me share screen here. Surprising move after Buffett sold 13% of Apple shares in his first quarter. Previously, Buffett had indicated that he would sell a little Apple this year, which led to the benefit of Berkshire shareholders if the U.S. raises taxes and global capital gains in its efforts to control the climbing fiscal deficit. However, the size of the scale indicates this is more than just tax savings. Berkshire Hathaway also unloaded over $75 billion in equity in the second quarter, bringing its cash holdings to $277 billion. We're going to jump into this video from X. Shout out to everybody watching, by the way. Thank you so much. If you feel called, go ahead and smash that like button. And it does help with the YouTube algorithm. So let's, Kamala was asked, this was a while ago. So Kamala Kamala. Kamala was asked how she plans on fixing inflation, and she answered by a generic word salad as usual about what inflation is for a solid 45 seconds. Check this out.
What else are you going to do to fix this problem with inflation?
Right, thank you. Well, let's start with this. Prices have gone up, and families and individuals are dealing with the realities of that bread costs more, that gas costs more. And we have to understand what that means. That's about the cost of living going up. That's about having to stress and stretch limited resources. That's about a source of stress for families that is not only economic, but is on a daily level, something that is a heavy weight to carry. So it is something that we take very seriously, very seriously. And we know from the history of this issue in the United States that when you see these prices go up, it has a direct impact on the quality of life for all people in our country. So it's a big issue, and we take it seriously. And it is a priority, therefore.
What else?
Guys, the best way to establish your perspective on voting is, is your life better, both financially and economically and in your business and personally? Is your life better the last 4 years than it has been the prior 4 years? Excuse me. For me, particularly the last 16 months have been incredibly brutal. Incredibly brutal. Lost a bunch of money in some real estate stuff. And, the cost of bread is going up. The cost of gas is going up. Excuse me. Gotta get some more cafe, man. Shout out to coffee, man. The cost of bread, the cost of gas, the cost of living has gone up. So the dollar isn't as stretching as much as it has been. How much are you guys? Shout out to everybody. How much are you guys paying for gas? Gas in Las Vegas and California. I believe California is like close to California gas prices. California gas prices right now, as of August 2024, the average price on gas in California is $4.63. For mid-grade, it's $5.22, and for diesel, it's $5.03. Recently, it's gone down, but remember, about a year ago, it was up. Gas was up. I want to know how much you guys are paying for gas, by the way. This is a recent meme out of Twitter with Kamala dancing over the stock market. Here we go. Come on, man. Let me jump into this. Video from Fox.
Really sliding. Look at now about Bitcoin. About Bitcoin, the cryptos. That's been really sliding. Look at now it's 51.7. A few minutes ago it was 49.8. That's what I saw.
It went under 50.
It did.
It fell 13% last week. That's the worst week since 2022. If you look at the ETF outflows, biggest in 3 months.
About Bitcoin, the cryptos. That's been really sliding. Look
Bitcoin
at now it's 51.7. A few minutes ago it was 49.8. That's what I saw.
It went under 50.
The stock market is taking a hit. It is taking a hit.
Points a day. It's been over. We've talked about quite a bit. It was down in the low teens. up 26 points a day. It's been over 50 at one point, 49, 80. And earlier, Tom Lee said when we see the VIX peak and maybe come down a little, that could indicate some type of bottoming. Joining us now is Jeremy Siegel, Professor Emeritus of Finance at University of Pennsylvania's Wharton School of Business, Chief Economist at Wisdom Tree. Jeremy, I hate, you probably aren't happy to say I told you so either, given what we're witnessing. But you thought the Fed was staying at, once again, for the second time, staying at the party too long and too restrictive.
Absolutely. And, this may surprise people. I'm calling for 75 basis point emergency cut in the Fed funds rate with another 75 basis point cut indicated for next month at the September meeting. And that's minimum. The Fed funds rate right now should be somewhere between 3.5% and 4%. Let me give you very simple logic of my position here. At the June meeting, the Fed has said that the long run Fed funds rate, when inflation reached 2% and unemployment has come up to 4.2%, should be 2.8. That's the normal. 2.8 is the normal Fed funds rate. Well, on Friday, we blew it across the employment number. We're at 4.3. That even argues for a lower one. Now, as far as inflation, we're at 2.5%. We've gone down 90% towards the target on the inflation rate. We've overshot the target on the employment. Those are the two targets explicitly mentioned by the Federal Reserve. All right, and how much have we moved the Fed funds rate? 0. That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
Now, the next graph I'm going to show you is the volatility index, the VIX, is the second highest level since 2008 of the global financial crisis. It's probably nothing, though. Probably nothing, right? So as you can see here at the top of 2008, during 2008, where it circled, was the global financial crisis, where it hit the peak of the volatility index. And then shortly after 2008, it significantly dropped down. And then it went up during COVID. And then during 2021, we saw a slight, recession indicators. And now we're at the peak, hitting this line of the volatility rate dropping down. Actually, my bug man came today. Shout out to McKeegan Pest Control. We do talk a lot about politics, interest rates, business, economics, things like that. And he had asked me, very successful guy. He asked me a question because he knows I've been in the real estate space for quite some time. He asked me, he said, "Hey, what do you think when interest rates, what do you think is going to happen if and when interest rates drop?" And me investing in real estate and understanding real estate market, I can speak based on my knowledge and my experience of real estate. When interest rates drop, generally right now, the average price per home in Las Vegas is $475,000. And what I mean by, which is crazy because that's completely out of the, that's unaffordable, unobtainable, and unaffordable for a lot of middle-class individuals. And I've talked on this channel before about the K-shaped curve, continuing the divide between middle class and the rich. The middle class is slowly seeping to be essentially removed through this kind of economic shift. Now, he said, what about interest rates? When interest rates go down, will people be able to buy more homes? Fictitiously, yes. I say fictitiously, yes, because the the interest rates will create a quote unquote lower payment, but also that could potentially increase prices of homes. So fictitiously, what I mean by that is interest rates will be low. So quote unquote, your monthly payment would be lower possibly. But if the price per home goes up, you're essentially paying the same for the same house. So I'm a huge advocate for purchasing real estate and waiting versus waiting to purchase real estate. If you have the ability to purchase real estate now and you can purchase real estate, purchase real estate. You know, if you have your savings, if you have everything set up and you're looking to buy your first home, purchase real estate. But if you're already kind of stretching, I still think it's a good decision to rent because, like I said, interest rates drop, then the prices are going to go up because supply and demand, right? Then it becomes a seller's market where sellers then can ask for whatever they want. In a recent article that I had pulled, the average price in Las Vegas is $475,000, but homeownership has hit the highest yield for entry-level homes, breaking over $1 million. The average price per home is $1 million in 237 cities. Las Vegas continues to illustrate the extreme divide between wealthy and average buyers. If you are in a place where you're looking to refinance and interest rates drop and you're looking to pull out some money, I think it's a good opportunity. This is not financial advice by any means, but I think it's a good opportunity to do a refinance or a HELOC, which is a home equity line of credit, to get some money out at a lower cost. Now, what that will do is lowering the interest rates. That will allow individuals who have money in their home. Currently right now, if you try to refinance, I'm going to say like about a week ago, refinance probably percentage wise is probably around 8.25%, 8.5, 8.75, depending on where you're at. But if interest rates drop, that'll allow individuals to pull out some money out of their home, out of their properties, and stimulate the economy. What do you guys think? Do you guys own a home? What's the average price per home? Are you looking to buy a home right now? Once interest rates drop, mind you that the prices are still going to be 440,000, 475,000. And like I said, in 237 cities, the average price per home is about $1 million, man. $1 million. I'm going to highlight this this interview with Donald Trump back in 2020. Trump said the stock market would crash if Joe Biden was elected. I don't know if you guys remember this interview.
And you know what? I'm not so far away from that again, believe it or not. But if Biden gets in, the market will crash. And you know what? I'm not so far away from that again, believe it or not. But if Biden gets in, the market will crash.
Yikes. And it's true. It is crashing. The market is crashing. Now, I want to jump into this piece regarding former Secret Service Director Kim Cheadle wanted to destroy White House cocaine evidence, according to Real Clear Politics. According to the report, the agent was taken off the case let's see. The Secret Service Forensic Service Division and Informed Division stood firm to reject the push, the disposed evidence. So if you remember, they found cocaine in the White House. And they found the cocaine in the White House, and Director Don Cheadle was, former Director Don Cheadle was conspired to hide the evidence. And, you know, honestly, the evidence has been hidden. And they haven't even referenced that. They haven't even referenced any of that since that time frame. Former Secret Service chief wanted to destroy cocaine evidence. Former director Kim Cheadle and other in the top agent leadership position wanted to destroy cocaine discovered in the White House last summer. Man, if Trump had cocaine in the White House, they would be investigating that like crazy. They would be investigating that like crazy. They found cocaine in the White House and they said they didn't know where it came from. What? Biden, we know Hunter Biden is an avid user of drugs, and all of a sudden he becomes an artist. And you know, maybe he found his calling. Maybe he found his calling being an artist. Maybe he was like, I want to be an artist. I want to be an artist. And you know, he's selling his paintings for crazy amounts of money, which, whatever, man. You know, but it's a good way to kind of smuggle the money. I'm not saying that that's the way that's going down. Maybe they're not. Maybe they are. I don't know. I'm just speculating. But Secret Service Forensic Service Division and Uniform Division stood firm and rejected the push to dispose of the evidence, according to 3 sources of Street Service team. Multiple heated confrontations and disagreements over how to best handle the cocaine ensued after the White House uninformed division officer found a bag on July 2nd, 2023, on a quiet Sunday while President Biden and his family were at Camp David in Maryland, sources said. At least one uniformed division officer initially signed to the investigation the cocaine incident, but after being told by his supervisor, including Cheadle and acting Street Service Team Director Ron Rowe, who was deputy director at the time, that he wanted to follow a certain crime scene investigation protocol, the same crime scene investigation protocol that they're using on Donald Trump's assassination attempt. It is slower than snail mail. It reminds me of when they were still transporting money on wagons. That's how slow this investigation is going. He was taken off the case, according to the source within the Secret Service community familiar to the circumstance of his removal. Secret Service spokesman Anthony Guterman did not immediately return RPC's request for comment. The discovery of the bag of cocaine posed an unusual problem for Cheadle, who resigned in the face of pressure after July 31st assassination attempt on Donald Trump. Hunter Biden had been well-documented addiction to cocaine, crack, cocaine, and other substances for many years, but repeatedly claimed to be sober since 2021. Cheadle became close to the Biden family while serving Vice President Joe Biden's protective detail. So that close Biden tapped Cheadle for the director of the job in 2022, in part because of her close relationship with the First Lady, Joe Biden. When the cocaine was first discovered, Cheadle apparently knew it would spark a media firestorm. The incident prompted viral memes about Hunter Biden's addictions and accusations for the public political figures, including Nikki Haley, and Secret Service who knew whose cocaine it was, but they were trying to cover it up. Obviously, we all know whose cocaine it was. We all know that it was possibly Hunter Biden's. I'm not speculatory, right? I'm not saying that it's Hunter Biden's. It might be Hunter Biden's. It might be somebody else's. Maybe somebody who just casually walked into the White House and dropped off, and did cocaine, and they just casually dropped it off in areas where the Biden family normally hang out. That's possible, right? What do you guys think? Not sure. Before we end this stream, I came across Donald Trump's reaction. Stock markets are crashing. This is what he had tweeted or posted on his Truth Social. Stock markets crashing. I told you so. Kamala doesn't have a clue. Biden is sound asleep, all caused by inept U.S. leadership. Got to get a sip of coffee here. What do you guys think what's going on here? Kamala does have no clue. And where has she been? After being poised in the position of the Democratic presidential nominee with crazy amounts of votes, right? She got so many votes to be the Democratic nominee. Did she? She hasn't said anything aside from the conversation that she had when she was getting off the plane when Joe Biden casually walked onto the plane once the hostages were released. You guys remember this video? This is one of the first conversations that Kamala had. You guys remember this one?
This is just an extraordinary testament to the importance of having a president who understands the power of diplomacy and understands the strength that rests in understanding the significance of diplomacy and strengthening alliances. It's an incredible day.
Word salad. They should have a restaurant called Word Salad. Shortly after that, Joe Biden meandered off into a plane that supposedly still had individuals in it, and the White House had released a comment stating that he just meandered onto the plane because he wanted to say thank you to the kind individuals that were flying the plane. He just wanted to say thank you. So maybe he did. I don't know. But Kamala just let him wander onto the plane and just kind of wind her off. Anyways, I came across this is true. This is basically how everybody's perceiving, specifically the Dems, right? Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. Oh, man. I came across the second parody ad. Shout out to Mr. Reagan on X. The second parody ad of Kamala Harris and Trump and Vance campaign. Here we go.
I'm Kamala Harris, and this is my rebranding. I get it. Until now, Americans have seen me as that childless Karen that always has too many drinks at the cocktail party, and you don't have the heart to tell my husband Doug that he's a whipped beta male married to an insufferable witch. Look, I get it. I'm unlikable. I'm inauthentic. I say crazy shit. It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. When we talk about the children of the community, they are the children of the community. You need to get to go and need to be able to get where you need to go to do the work and get home. And yes, okay, I was the border czar. And so even though I might have been a bad vice president, what I do have is ambition. You would not believe what I would do for this country. Oh, who am I kidding? If you vote for me, you're as cringe as Chuck Schumer.
We are here today to throw our support behind Vice President Kamala Harris. I'm clapping. You don't have to.
Let's all see what can be, unburdened by what has been. And by what has been, I mean the Biden-Harris administration. Vote Trump 2024. Let's make America great again.
I'm Professor Sagan Deesnuts, and I approve this message.
Wait a minute. Professor Deesnuts Elon's trolling.
Professor Sagan D's nuts, and I approve.
Let's make America great again.
I'm Professor Sagan D's nuts, and I approve this message.
Man. Anyways, guys, I'd love to get your thoughts on the bloodbath that's happening on the stock market, the cocaine being hidden at the White House, which we already knew, Warren Buffett selling off all Berkshire stocks and half of Apple stocks. And let me get your thoughts on this second parody, which is absolutely classic. Guys, other than that, drop your comments down below. Let me know. Other than that, I will catch you on the next one.